The movie unfolds in 1641, within the boundaries of France. In this historical setting, a man finds himself at the receiving end of punishment for his treacherous actions. His offense involves betraying the king by double-dealing and selling weapons to both the king and his adversaries simultaneously. As the punishment is carried out, the man's seething anger becomes apparent. He harbors a deep resentment towards the king for whom he committed this act of treachery. They attach a mask of fire onto the man's face, intensifying his suffering. Then it turns out to be a point in the near future, specifically at a NATO command center. It is here that we are introduced to James, an expert in weaponry, who works for a company that has developed an exceptionally perilous weapon. This weapon possesses the extraordinary ability to instantly render any enemy weapon ineffective. Once activated, it can only be deactivated by employing a designated kill switch. Naturally, NATO expresses great satisfaction with this groundbreaking weapon and proceeds to place an order for 4 warheads. The responsibility of delivering these warheads is entrusted to a highly skilled military team equipped with cutting-edge weaponry. Leading this team is Duke, alongside his comrade Ripcord. However, during their journey, an unidentified aircraft emerges, remaining undetectable on radar systems. This unknown aircraft disrupts their mission using its advanced electronic weaponry, swiftly causing chaos among the NATO aircraft. The adversary's aircraft possesses such superior technological capabilities that it remains impervious to any gunfire or missile attacks. The NATO soldiers find themselves defenseless and unable to shield themselves from the onslaught. The enemy aircraft systematically inflicts destruction upon all the convoys, including Duke's, which ultimately crashes. Furthermore, the enemy's army proves to be equally advanced, equipped with impenetrable suits and firepower capable of decimating an entire tank. Their overwhelming technological advantage poses a significant threat to the NATO forces, leaving them at a considerable disadvantage in this high-stakes conflict. Amidst the chaos, Duke recognizes one of the enemy soldiers as his former fiancée, Anna. Just as the enemy is about to escape with the warheads, another army unit led by Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Breaker, and Heavy Duty intervenes. They successfully thwart the enemy's plans, forcing them to retreat empty-handed. Perplexed and trying to make sense of the unfolding events, Duke finds himself escorted to a highly classified facility known as the G.I. Joe Command Center. Discreetly hidden beneath the desert, it is within the confines of this secretive location that Duke gains a clear understanding of the true nature of G.I. Joe. Contrary to his previous assumptions, he discovers that G.I. Joe is in fact a covert emergency management unit. This unit was established through a collaborative effort involving multiple nations, with the specific purpose of addressing challenges and threats that conventional military forces are ill-equipped to handle. G.I. Joe boasts the world's most formidable military personnel and possesses advanced weaponry that remains unseen by the general public. The unit is under the command of General Hulk, a respected leader within the organization. Meanwhile, upon receiving news of the attack, James takes it upon himself to personally verify the condition of the warheads. Utilizing a hologram, he meticulously examines each warhead, ensuring that everything is in proper order and no issues are present. James recognizes the critical importance of maintaining the integrity and functionality of these powerful weapons. However, as time passes, it becomes evident to the audience that James is actually the mastermind behind these attacks. It is revealed that James used NATO's funds to manufacture the warheads and then stole them for his own purposes. He sold them to the enemies, intending to instigate a large-scale war. James leads a group known as the Black Cobra, which utilizes advanced nanotechnology developed by a certain doctor to create an army called Neo-Vipers. These soldiers are unique in that they are impervious to pain. Unbeknownst to everyone, one of these Neo-Vipers has already been covertly placed within the White House. Additionally, James has secretly activated a tracking device within a case, allowing him to discover the hidden location of a secretive organization known as G.I. Joe. Despite previous failures, James is determined to succeed this time. He assigns his most accomplished soldiers Tom Shadow and Zayton with the crucial mission of removing the warheads from G.I. Joe's possession. Simultaneously, Duke prepares to disclose information about the Baroness to G.I. Joe with the condition that they include him in their team. The general agrees to Duke's proposal on the condition that he successfully completes their rigorous training. Determined to meet this challenge, Duke and his team devote themselves day and night to excel in every aspect of their training. During this time, Duke confides in the general about his past relationship with a woman named Anna, who is also known as the Baroness. They were once engaged, but Duke's brother, a military man, tragically lost his life, making it impossible for Duke to face Anna due to the promise he made to protect her. Consequently, Duke suspects that Anna might now be against him. Unbeknownst to Duke, Anna has since married the wealthiest scientist in France, who is engaged in particle accelerator experiments. Meanwhile, G.I. Joe remains completely oblivious to these developments. Seizing the opportunity, the Black Cobra infiltrates G.I. Joe's command center from below ground, launching a surprise attack that leaves the general injured and without anyone noticing. The Black Cobra successfully retrieves the case from the general's possession. By the time the general raises an alarm, G.I. Joe springs into action to thwart the enemy. Despite the efforts of his entire army, they are unable to prevent the theft of the case, which is stolen right under their noses, and the thief escapes. Then it turns out to reveal the deep-seated animosity between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. This hostility traces back to their childhood when Storm Shadow caught Snake Eyes stealing from a tree. Assuming him to be a common thief, Storm Shadow intended to teach him a lesson. However, Snake Eyes, a street fighter, managed to impress Storm Shadow. The master, pleased with Snake Eyes' skills, decided to train him, and he soon surpassed Storm Shadow in the master's eyes. A tragic event occurred when Snake Eyes discovered their master dead, and saw Storm Shadow fleeing the scene. After acquiring the warhead, James selects the Eiffel Tower for the initial test. G.I. Joe then discovers that James is the mastermind behind all these events, in the same way that their enemies discovered their secret base. Truth about the Baroness also comes to light. It is revealed that she married a scientist specializing in particle accelerators, with the intention of using his expertise to arm the warhead with a particle accelerator machine. However, before they can prevent Black Cobra's plan, he holds the Baroness's husband at gunpoint, arms the warheads, and ultimately, Storm Shadow takes her husband's life. Upon G.I. Joe's arrival, a high-stakes chase ensues between them. In their pursuit to stop Black Cobra, they cause significant chaos throughout the city. Despite their best efforts, Duke, Ripper, and Snake Eyes struggle to halt the enemy's progress. Even when Black Cobra severely damages their tramway, they manage to survive. Seizing an opportunity, they target the Eiffel Tower, which triggers the nanomites to start consuming the iron structure. In the climactic finale, Duke's condition deteriorates, and he eventually succumbs to his injuries, growing weaker by the minute. However, Duke manages to time his move perfectly and boards their aircraft. He locates the kill switch and activates it. Anna's suppressed memories of her past with Duke resurface. Meanwhile, the arm breaker scans the brain signals of a dying soldier. Acting swiftly, G.I. Joe mobilizes their forces and locates the hidden military base concealed beneath the polar ice cap. In order to infiltrate the command center, the G.I. Joe devises a plan to encircle the enemy from all sides. The rest of the team decides to approach the enemy from below. Simultaneously, James, captured by the Black Cobra, divulges his sinister plan to mount warheads on missiles and target the world's largest capital. Subsequently, everyone turns to the President of the United States of America for support. In the current situation, the team manages to overcome obstacles and successfully takes control of the entrance, eliminating 4 guards in the process. Meanwhile, just before Duke is completely transformed into a puppet under the Doctor's control, a dramatic revelation takes place. It is unveiled that he is in fact Anna's long-lost brother. Prior to his disappearance, he had discovered an experiment conducted by Dr. Mindbender, who worked for James, that was far more advanced than anything of its time. Inspired by this remarkable invention, he managed to survive in his bunker until his fateful encounter with the Whisper. Dr. Mindbender eventually found and healed him, teaching him about his own experiment, which he later perfected. Since then, he has been working for James, concealing his death and manipulating him as a puppet to spare his sister from the pain of losing him. However, just as Duke is on the verge of becoming a victim of the Doctor's control, Anna somehow breaks free from the Doctor's influence and rescues Duke. In the ensuing chaos, James fires his weapon, resulting in severe injuries to both himself and Anna. They manage to escape together, while facing the challenges posed by their injuries. However, the situation takes a turn for the worse, as it is revealed that all 3 missiles have already been launched towards their intended targets. Breaker and Jatilda manage to intercept and eliminate one of the missiles, while Ripcord commandeers a nearby jet to pursue the other 2 missiles. Upon learning of the missile threat, the White House immediately takes action, and the president is swiftly taken to a secure bunker for protection. Unbeknownst to everyone, one of the individuals under the Doctor's control, acting as his puppet, seizes the opportunity and takes the president into custody. The president is taken aback by the presence of this unexpected person, whose identity will be unveiled in the next installment. Meanwhile, the trio infiltrates the command, discreetly accessing it through the elevators. Along their way, After successfully hijacking the control room, Breaker takes on the role of guiding Ripcord in his mission to neutralize the missiles. Ripcord faces a daunting task as he attempts to eliminate the missile headed towards the White House, putting everyone's lives at stake. However, he manages to destroy it at the crucial moment. Unfortunately, all the nanomites from the destroyed missile end up coating Ripcord's jet. Realizing the potential danger, Ripcord takes decisive action by taking the nanomites out of the atmosphere and obliterating them, while also ejecting himself safely. Simultaneously, the general's army engages in a fierce battle against the enemy forces, resulting in significant casualties on both sides. The enemy's electromagnetic cannon severely impacts G.I. Joe's forces. Snake Eyes, a member of G.I. Joe, attempts to disable the control unit of the cannon. However, Storm Shadow intervenes, leading to a deadly confrontation between the two skilled fighters. Despite Storm Shadow's relentless efforts to kill Snake Eyes, he eventually succumbs to his opponent's superiority and meets his demise. As the base of the Black Cobra begins to tremble, Dr. James flees, with Duke and Anna pursuing him aboard an attack submarine. Dr. Timula, eager to eliminate everyone before their own demise, orders the destruction of the ice pack, hoping to wipe out all remaining threats. In a sinister turn of events, Dr. Timula seizes the opportunity to experiment on the injured James, subjecting him to a painful process that transforms his face into a grotesque visage, turning him into Destro and granting the Doctor control over him. Dr. Timula proclaims himself the commander of the Black Cobra, but his joy is short-lived. G.I. Joe's formidable army swiftly surrounds Anna, capturing her and confining her to a secret facility. Despite her assistance to the enemies, Anna finds herself imprisoned. This turn of events marks the conclusion of the movie, and with that the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.